Okay, I should be live. Get my chat filter going correctly, hopefully. I don't know. We will find out. Because the chat on here is a little bit behind if you post anything. Anyways, welcome to Chasing Ghosts. And let me see, Buck Brown, how you doing? It's like I didn't have to cough until I pressed go live. I need to clean my visor. But I am going to lose my signal up here after these curves for a little bit. Like about 2 miles, it'll be kind of in and out, and if you can bear with me through that, we'll be good. Another day at work. Would have done 3 boxes, but I did 2. Preloaded another one. I'm going to try to deliver another tomorrow and preload one. They close early. Depends. The pit's been getting full. Bunch of tankers dumping. This kind of is. Yeah, you want to know what Texas looks like? This is Texas. This part of Texas down here with rice and cane and alligators and hogs. That's the part of Texas that I'm on. The coast is right behind me, not too far. And I wish it was only 17 miles home, but I'm about 17 miles from saltwater where I live. You'd think I'd go see the ocean more. The Gulf of Mexico. I don't care, it's still the Gulf of Mexico. That shit's just weird. Soft swampland. And my visor's dirty. I need to figure out a way to make the thing bigger on my phone where I can read it. I don't know if you can see the sun through the clouds over there. It's kind of pretty. If I could make the chat bigger, which in a way I could if I got one of them things like where I could hold a tablet, you know? And they make a device like that, but it puts the tablet out too far. They've got one for like an iPad holder kind of thing that this dude made, and it covers up like where that vent is up there. I don't know if I want to cover the vent, but it'd be kind of cool. But you'd have to do your live through like an iPad with service kind of thing. I think you could do that. Then the chat would be big enough to read it. Been having storage issues with my phone. I download to the cloud. There's plenty of room in the cloud. It's crazy. I think what it is called planned obsolescence, and they want me to buy a new phone. I don't want to buy a new phone. I don't think you should have to buy a new phone every year and a half, 2 years, and you talk to them like, we got this phone one. I don't know the latest and the greatest. Do spinning wheel of death. Harley Davidson still hadn't done anything about the 7th gear. I've been requesting one. I've been requesting, but my requests have fell on deaf ears. It's going to skip out a little bit through here until I get up to 90. I got like another mile of this road, and then about about 2 miles of 90. So that's kind of where we're at. It's like I ought to wait until I get up to 90 to start the live. I don't know. I might do that next time. That gas station's a little bit weird. So what you gonna do? And I know I gotta check engine light. I know exactly what that is. And when I started it the other day, the voltage was too low. And if the voltage is too low, it's gonna give you that little check engine light. So that hopefully you run to the dealer like, what's wrong with my... Oh, it's fine. Low voltage. I think I got a video or two talking about that and showing how to clear the codes. And it's good to know them and look at them and record them. If you're going to delete them, go ahead and record them and record the miles and all that. That way if you have any more problems. Because sometimes you really don't have a problem with the bike. Sometimes it's just something like you lugged the bike. Bad reading, you know, some shit like that. And there's no need. You're not going to ever get that code again unless you do that same thing again. You know, it's weird stuff like that, and you'll get a code. And you don't need to waste your money taking it to the dealer, you know, to have them go through, oh, this might be wrong. To just clear the code. Oh, stalled bike light. What's bad is the signal is actually pretty good through here before Hurricane Beryl. I guess it's nice. And your house was like anywhere from, you know. I do not know what's going on with the signal. Read for a second. But no, it's like they use here in Beam. They're not on Pier and Beam anymore. Let me see. What's the chat say? we'll go talking to Buck. Yeah, Buck's gonna be delivering pretty close. Like, I don't know where he is now, but I think where he was delivering at is about 4 hours from where I'm at. Cool, the signal should be better. I think at the corner of the parking lot it breaks up a little bit. The signal was a lot better before Hurricane Beryl, and it just hasn't recovered. Why was I putting it in first? Always watch for the gravel. Should be some dogs up here. I don't know if it's... I don't think the hurricanes are so much as we have more stuff to damage. Like I used to be like Pier and Beam. So the flooding part with the tropical storm. We have so many high lines, so much electrical infrastructure. They've got like the metal studs and all that stuff in them, and sorry. The houses are built kind of flimsy. I mean, they look really, really nice. But I don't think they're built as good as they would, or they were. See these older houses that have weathered the storm. Still there. And then you see these new houses with their new lighter weight material and 3 foot of water on them and demolished. Now if it's a tornado, there's nothing you can do about that. We get those too. You also get tornadoes from hurricanes. I'm wondering what the hurricane season's going to be like this year. I don't know. I hope everybody fares well. It's like we all got hit last year. Like Mother Nature was like, well, I haven't hit this spot, I haven't hit this one, I haven't hit that one. It's like Mother Nature was playing bingo. And a few of us got bingo more than once. You know, it's... Then we had the recent storms and flooding and all that, and we've still got people devastated from things a few months ago. I can take you to Florida and show you signs that have been down since a hurricane that was like 20 years ago. And the signs are still down. They're still there. There's damage that never gets repaired. And it's just like that now. There's people who can't fix their homes. There's nothing they can do. They can't fix it. They can't come up with the money. We've still got people and, you know, dealing with the government over Harvey. And Harvey was like, what, 6-7 years ago? You know, and it's like the state got the money, but it didn't get to them, and all kinds of weird stuff with filing, and then it's like whether you had insurance or not, and whether you're in a flood zone or not, and we got a few ghost communities from flooding down here. How you doing? It's not a good place for you to be. Out off of Highway 6 over on the west side of Houston, there's this basically like a little town that they had built. It's this really large, like it's several subdivisions put together, really. And it would flood so bad, and then it flooded again, and then it flooded again, and it's like everybody lost everything. And the government finally came in and they bought all the property out, and now nobody lives there, and it's like it's a ghost community. But sometimes you got to do that, and it's hard enough to keep up with drainage because all this stuff, the only difference between Houston area and New Orleans is about 4 to 6 feet, you know? It's the same Gulf Coast, same issues. And like the east side of town and all that stuff by Intercontinental Airport. Remember during Allison, people were wondering why that all flooded so bad. Well, what they did was they came through and they drained a whole bunch of rice fields. And why am I upshifting? They drained a whole bunch of rice fields, and then they put all the subdivisions in there where the rice fields used to be. And when you put subdivisions where rice fields used to be, look at that horse. Look at the cows. Where's the babies? Oh, they're down here. You know, it's going to flood. The other thing is most of this is pine swamp, whether it's flat or not, whether there's trees or not. They come through and, you know, they clear all that out. And there they are. They're hungry. They're eating. But, somebody had to come through here however many years ago it was, and they cleared this land. This was all woods and swamp. All of it. And they cleared it, and they started growing crops on it. Like I said, rice, cane. There's a lot of things that grow good here and don't grow good here. Anymore, you can grow anything you want because of modern technology and fertilizers and stuff like that. But traditionally, there's just some things that don't. It's kind of like the difference between oh, what do you call it? The word's slipping my mind. I have a cooking channel and the word's slipping my mind. But it's like you've got the Trinity, you know, and you've got the French version of it. And a lot of that is that I believe it was carrots didn't really grow good down here and in Louisiana, so they ended up with kind of like their own version of Mirepoix. There you go. So they had their own version, heavily French influenced. And there's a difference between Creole and Cajun. Big difference, especially in the food. And you get to the food down here, that's like what people had access to. So like if you live closer to New Orleans or you lived here, you would have had more access to things like flour. If not, that's why they used like okra and filet, the sassafras, to thicken up their gumbo instead of making a roux. Now they kind of use all of it in a lot of them. Let's see what's on here. Motobomb, how are you doing? Yeah, stream was breaking up back there. It'll do that. It depends. Time of day, until I get up to at least 90. And this is the FM road up here. So we got the US highway behind me. We got the FM road up here. Then I'll be back on the county roads. I'm not on interstates very often if I'm not in the truck. There's people on them interstates. I avoid people like the plague. Well, persons are fine. I've kind of got like George Carlin's view. Persons are fine. It's those groups of like 3 or more. You know. Why did I go all the way down? I don't know why. And then it drops. There we go. Like, are you gonna go? I don't know. I might. There's a concrete plant up here. That's why gravel gets dumped in that intersection all the time. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. So down by the US highway there's a lot of construction, and then up here you've got the concrete plant. And then when you get over to the other FM road, all the construction, the one that I live off of. So it's construction, and in between there's a concrete plant. And then there's gravel everywhere. Lovely. Nice sunset. I can steer with my feet if I want to set my cruise control. I've done that before. I don't feel like doing the no hands right now though. The road feels a little rough for that. But with those bars, just press left, press right, press left, press right. Kind of steering with your butt and your feet. If you go behind me, that's Dayton. Then there's Liberty. They've still got the big silos and stuff there. But I think it's 2 towns over from Liberty. You'll see, like on the grain silos, it'll be like Daggett rice. Did you see that brand? This is where it comes from. It comes from here. But all this was cleared. All this is meant to hold water. And they can't keep up with the drainage because there's just so many people. You know, the wind is pretty good too. Why can't I get this wind when it's like 105? You don't get any wind. It's just humid as hell, 105, and sweat dripping down your fingers. But all this land is meant to hold you know, upwards of 2-3 foot of water when it rains. So they have to widen out the bayous, and that's another difference between Louisiana and Texas. Bayou or bayou? But so they come through and they put a subdivision in, and then they put another one in. The only time I came close to flooding was because of construction. It had the drainage block. But they dig these massive retention ponds, and they can't dig them quick enough because the subdivisions go up too quick. In the Houston area, I don't think it has as much people. I don't know if we overtook Chicago or not for population. We're either, I don't know if we're still number 4 or if we're number 3, and then it'll be like LA and New York for population. But we're sprawled out. We didn't go up, we went out. And the suburbs got overtaken by more suburbs, and it just grew out. So like the Houston area is from like Galveston all the way up to basically Huntsville. From like Katy and Brookshire over to Baytown, down to Sugar Land, up to New Caney. I mean, Houston's an hour from Houston. It's going to take you another hour to get where you're going. Some of y'all have driven down here. Y'all know what I'm saying. It just keeps growing. Leonard Skinner was right about that concrete, except it's not creeping anymore. It's like a horror movie. Or that dream. I don't know if y'all have ever had that dream where, and I used to have this dream, and I'd have this dream where the snake was chasing me. It's like one of those big, like, anaconda snakes that's winding around everything like it's a video game. And it's going stuck in fast as you can. You're just in this panic. It's chasing you. I don't know how I got off on that. But I used to have that dream. Oh yeah, the concrete. That's like the concrete now. And it's just, it's like, the concrete is like a virus. And there's no cure for it. It's like this fatal disease, and it keeps growing and overtaking everything. And the further you move out, the further it chases you. And that's why Houston's so big. Like I said, I don't want to live anywhere I can't see cows. You know? I don't know where they got the cows at right now, but there's a school. There's where cows go. They said rev it. So I revved it for them. It's kind of like when kids do the arm pump. You gotta make kids happy. Although my exhaust isn't a great exhaust. I don't want my exhaust too loud. I want it a little louder than it is, but I don't want something that's gonna give me a headache going to like Florida and back. You know? I got enough noise and wind and everything else. And the signal's going to skip out a little through here too. And I'll stop at that gas station and I'll check my chat again. But back to the other topic. All this land here was basically, you know, see how it's starting to look like Louisiana? All this land is supposed to hold water. All of it. And they're like, why does it flood? When I bought my house, you could still see the water line on people's houses from Allison. And I got as far away from that water line as I could in elevation. Football and cheer, register today. Ah, the cows are back there. I see them now. I don't think you can, but I can. See, that's how it should be. The school's there, the cows are there. That's some dude in an old pickup. Check it out. Keeping it on the road. Hay for sale. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, people have actually started taking Trump signs down, I noticed. There's not as many. They didn't take them down. They still had all their Trump signs from like, what was it, 2020 up through the entire Biden presidency. And then they put the new ones beside it. And I guess now they're not protesting. So they took them, they're starting to take them down. You know? Yeah, they made their voices heard. They kept those signs up for a very long time. That's the kind of area I live in. Like, see the pine trees? The big thicket isn't too far from here. We're kind of on the edge of the thicket. That's National Swampland Preserve. Got a national park not too far from me as well. Neutral. And where have we found neutral today, class? Let's see if I can read this. Dying Breed Media. Hello, how are you doing? Earl Campbell sells kolaches at Shipley's. Yeah, but those aren't kolaches. Kolaches do not have meat in them. That is literally my ethnic food. There's a story about how that came to be, though. Those are actually a klobasnik. And you got like Czech immigrants and stuff. There's a huge Czech population out here. And you know, they're working manual labor and stuff, and they're taking their food to lunch, you know, for lunch with them, and they're wrapping a kielbasa with kolache dough. And kolache dough is a little different. It's like, what do you have? The kolache. There is no meat kolache. Kolaches have like apricot and peach and poppy seed, and I make blueberry kolaches. Now the klobasniks or pig in a blankets or whatever you want to call them are actually really good. So nothing against them. But yeah, Earl Campbell, he's got his sausage and all. Earl Campbell's a really big thing here. I'm a pissed off Oilers fan, by the way. I don't care about any other game that the Texans play all year. As long as they beat the Tennessee Traders, I'm happy. If they don't beat the Tennessee Traders, then I'm not happy. Oh yeah, the pine trees are full of pollen. You'll have, like, the ditches will be yellow. You'll have yellow shit running off your car, and yeah. Pig in a blanket, yeah. You lived in East Houston for many years. Well, Czech Pilsner, Pilsner beer comes from Pilsen, Czech Republic. We invented Pilsner beer. You know? That's like our thing. We invented it. And it's named after Pilsen. So if you look up Pilsen, Czech Republic, you can see where Pilsner beer came from. And I love like a good Pilsner Urquell. I'm either drinking something like that, like a Pilsner Urquell, or I'll be drinking Miller Lite, because, well, we've Dying Breed lived over here. That's just what you drink. That or like Shiner Bock, if you want to be like bougie. Yeah, Toga knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, we are a beer and vodka drinking people. So yeah, you gotta represent your Turkish Pilsner. I get it. You're not bad. I wouldn't ban you for that. I drink Scotch or vodka based on which grandmother I want to talk to. One of them's Scotch-Irish and the other one was Czech. So, yeah. But anyways, I'm going to have to get home. I got to be up early. I got to be 200 miles away from here at 6:30 in the morning. Which means I'm going to have to be up a whole lot earlier than 6:30 in the morning. So, I will catch y'all later. Y'all are awesome. And I do have a kolache recipe on my other channel if you're on it, Tara Smith's Kitchen. And I believe I made blueberry kolaches. I need to make those again. I just haven't had the time. But I'm wanting to make some pastries and cakes and stuff like that, and like blueberry cobbler or blackberry cobbler, blueberry kolaches and blackberry cobbler and stuff like that. I might do that for my other channel this summer. But I'm gonna catch y'all later, and y'all take care. So adios, fallo con Dios, sayonara.